Hey guys, Outdoor Prepper, welcome back to the channel. We have something here that is brand new to the market. That is the Exodus 2400. The good folks at Oupes have sent this out to me to give it a try, give it a test, review it, let you guys know what I think about it. Let's just go over some specs right away, and then we're going to do what everybody wants to know. We're going to just run this through some tests. I'm not talking about the pure sine wave. We know it's got a pure sine wave. We know all the basics about this. You want to know, how long will this thing run lights? How long will this thing run a refrigerator? Will it run a window AC? We're going to find out. And not only are we going to find out, but we're going to find out how long it will run the window AC. Let's just go over a couple of specs about this. Then I'm going to pull the camera in so you can get a little better view of the controls and the ports. This is a 2400 watt AC pure sine wave inverter. It can surge to 3600 watts. It's got a 2232 watt hour battery. That's a pretty large battery. By the way, this thing weighs about 46 pounds. It's not that heavy. I was able to pick it up very easy, no problem. It's got Anderson solar inputs. It can be used as a UPS. It's got 13 ports that you could get power from, including 2 power distribution, or power delivery, I'm sorry, USB-C ports with 140 watts each. Let's pull the camera in because I want to show you just how this thing looks a little bit closer, and let's go over some of the controls as well. All right, so now that you've got a nice view there, over here we've got our 2 PD ports, 140 watts. We've got 4 traditional USB-As. These are the USB-Cs at the top. 4 AC outlets. We've got 2 12-volt barrel plugs, and then we have the ever so present on every power station, 12-volt cigarette lighter, which is actually useful. You can plug in a 12-volt camping fridge, a little refrigerator. You can plug in an adapter for more USB ports. We have this IoT button. This is Internet of Things. This basically is for your Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. This unit has a really nice app. I actually downloaded it. There is a QR code right here on the top of it. It's also got a QR code in the owner's manual. The app is great because you can control it via Wi-Fi or Bluetooth. From the app, it'll tell you the temperature of the battery, the charging speed, the power in, the power out. It's got a lot of features, and I'm really pleased to see that Oupes has such a great app. Let's turn it on now. You just press and hold this button until it turns on. So you can see our state of charge is 100%. If you press DC here, what it's going to do is it's going to turn on the 12-volt cigarette lighter and the 2 DC ports. If you press AC, it's going to turn on the inverter and the 4 outlets, and if you press DC here, it's going to turn on all the USB outlets. If you press IoT for Internet of Things, it's going to turn on the Bluetooth. When this unit is in standby, like it is right now, and there's nothing plugged into it, you've got a really low power usage or power draw from the AC inverter, again, when it's in standby and the AC inverter is on. This is only going to pull about 27 watts, which is super reasonable and not a big draw considering you have a massive AC inverter here. One of the things when I was asked if I wanted to review this unit, I was a little skeptical at first because I had seen other Oupes units and they had 2 large power bricks with adapters that you had to plug in to charge it, and I was kind of hoping that that wasn't going to be the case. Guys, Oupes hit it out of the park with this. There is no power brick, none of those adapters. It's got a regular plug here that you would find like on a computer. Comes with a cable. You just plug it right in here, plug it into the outlet. Super convenient. Hit it out of the park. I am so happy to see that. And you can adjust the charging speed. So there's high and low charging. Low charging is about 700 watts. High charging is about 1500 watts. It is recommended that you charge this on low unless there's a need to charge it on high, because that really will preserve the battery life. And that's not just Oupes, that is all brands. Jackery, Blue Eddy, Anchor. Whatever brand you have, the slower you charge it, the better you are, the longer the battery is going to last. So really happy to see that. Really, really, really happy. Circuit breaker button here. We've got Anderson solar inputs over here. This can do 12 to 80 volts. On the front, don't be confused. There is no solar here because you're charging it on the back. These are all outputs. So output on the 12 volts, output on the 120, output on the USB A and C. Let's see, what else can I tell you about this before we get into the real fun, which is testing it. Little card that came on the back of it that just reminds you for optimal performance, you want to drain this and then recharge it fully. So when I got this, I took it out of the box. It was at 65% charge. I plugged my fridge into this. I don't want to give it away because I started at 65%. But I plugged the fridge in until it went to 0. And then I charged it back up at low speed until I got to 100. Charging is really fast. If you plug this in at high speed, you're going to be charged in, I don't know, hour and a half. Low speed, it took about 2 hours, maybe a smidge longer. But again, that's because I did it intentionally on low speed because I want to preserve the battery for as long as possible. And unless there really is a power outage, there's no reason for me to need to charge at high speed. Power outage, I'm using a generator. I want to charge this quickly, get it back online. I'll use the generator. And I'll use high speed. This also has pass-through charging, so you can have your devices plugged in and have this hooked up to an AC outlet or a generator to charge this back up. It'll charge way faster than you'll use it to wear it down. So with that being said, I really want to get into the fun right now. I'm going to take this and I'm going to hook it up to my full-size fridge. And I've had a lot of questions about the full-size fridge. Right now my fridge is almost empty, and that is the most inefficient use of a refrigerator. When the fridge is full, you get thermodynamics, all the items in the fridge, they stay colder and they actually help the fridge stay colder. When the fridge is largely empty, it does not stay as cold as long. So plugging a full-size fridge into this, and when the fridge is not totally full, is going to be a real test because it's going to be not efficient on the fridge. And that's what I want to know. When the fridge is not really efficient, how long is this going to power it for? And then the window AC, that is really what I want to know. In a power outage, can I sleep comfortably all night knowing that this is going to power my window AC? Will I sleep nice and cool with the air conditioning going, or is this going to run it for an hour and then it's going to die? Let's find out. Right now, let's take it over to the fridge. Let's plug it into the fridge, and we're going to turn it on. Okay, guys, welcome to the Outdoor Prepper Hire Refrigerator. This is a full-size fridge freezer. Got the Oupes over here. Let's unplug the fridge. By the way, the screen times out after a couple of minutes, about 5 minutes. If you just press the button, it comes right back on. If you want to turn this off, you just press this and hold it until it says off. Otherwise, if you just press that, it just turns the screen off, but the unit is still on. All right, I'm going to unplug the fridge. We are starting at 100%. Let's plug the fridge in. Let's take a look at the time. We just heard the beep. That was the fridge getting power again. So it's 2:19. Let's call it 2:20 in the afternoon. I have no idea how long this thing is going to run for. I anticipate that it's going to run for quite some time. But let's check in several hours, and we're just going to keep doing a quick check-in until this fridge is no longer powered because the unit has run out of battery power. And again, I anticipate this is going to be quite a while. And I think this is amazing because you want to know if there's a blackout in the summertime, a hurricane blows through, how long can you power your fridge for? If you've got a fridge full of food and you've got several $100s worth of food and you've got a family that's depending on eating that food, you want to know if this thing can power it. So we're going to do this. We're going to check back in. When this is eventually done, we're going to charge it back up, and then we're going to go hit up that window AC. Hey guys, it is 9 o'clock, just about the next morning, and let's see where we're at. We've been running for 18 and a half hours on the full-size fridge. Still got 30% battery to go. The fridge is currently on, pulling 60 watts. At 60 watts, we've still got 6 more hours. So 18 and a half hours so far. This is amazing. Oupes, you've blown it out of the park. I'm really excited, though, for the next test, which is the window AC. All right, guys, we are back. It is 1:19, so in 1 minute, we are at 23 hours of runtime on the Oupes. Right now we're pulling 16 watts on the fridge. You know, the compressor's idled down. We're back to 0. At current usage of 0, we're showing another 6 hours. That's obviously not going to be the case. But I think it's really safe to say that we have gotten a solid 23 hours. We probably will get about 27 hours, give or take, I would say, which is absolutely amazing. And again, this is a full-size fridge. This is not like a compact fridge. It's obviously newer, so it's pretty efficient. But I think this just hit it out of the park with, you know, about 26 hours of runtime by the time all is said and done. We're at 23 hours right now. Okay guys, we're back in the bedroom now, and the time is 8:19 p.m. I want to know, how long can this power my window AC? This is an 8,000 BTU AC unit. It's made by Medea. This is actually an inverter AC, super efficient, great unit. And so I figured something like that would be perfect to pair with the Opus. So let's turn on the AC inverter. We're at 98% battery on the Opus. All right, it's come on board. Let's just let it settle. All right, so we're showing 0 output, 98% battery. Let's turn the AC on. I'm going to keep the AC on low, cool. I'm going to turn eco off. Low fan, we're set at 65. I think that's a reasonable temperature. Let's take a look here. AC is coming online. Let's take a look at the battery and see what kind of power we're pulling and what our expected runtime is. So on an inverter air conditioner, for those that are not super sure how it works, the compressor can spin up and spin down. It's not just like a ka-chunk and it just kicks in and off like a traditional window AC. If you don't have an inverter split air conditioner like this Medea U-shape, I really recommend you get them. It is super quiet, as you probably can't even tell, but the compressor is on right now. That's just how quiet this unit is. So right now we're pulling 207 watts, 208 watts. I anticipate this is going to go up a little bit. Let's check back in a little while. And like I said, we started this at 8:20. I'm going to let this run until the unit literally dies and powers off. Okay, this has been running just for a little bit. The compressor really is at full speed. It's nice and cool there. I'm just going to raise the fan just so we can see if there's any power jump on the unit. And you can see I just raised the fan and we've jumped up now to about 250, 260 watts, 70. We're actually going up. And the fan is on high. So it looks like on high fan, we're kind of maxing out somewhere around 300, 310 watts. Generally though, I do not run this with the fan on high. I actually run this generally with the fan on low, sometimes on medium. So let's go back to low and see where we're at. All right, so we're settling back somewhere around 225 watts, let's say, give or take. And projected runtime so far on the unit is saying 8 hours. This would be absolutely perfect. This is exactly what I'm looking for. I would love an 8-hour runtime, so I know I could power my window AC through the night. But this is just an estimate. Let's check back in when this battery finally dies and I will tell you how the night went. Hey guys, it's the morning now. I just want to be transparent. I actually stopped the air conditioner just shortly after I started it and I turned it back on at 10:30. I figured that 10:30 at night was a better time. I want to show you what time it is right now in the morning. It is 9:10 in the morning. So we are coming up on 11 hours and this is still running. You're going to be blown away at the capacity of the battery, because just quite frankly, I can't even believe that this is true. Let's take a look at the battery and see where we're at. We still have 20%. The AC is only pulling 88 watts. And just to show you, the room temperature is 64. The AC is set to 65. I do want to explain that this really is a special unit. This is not your typical AC unit. And I should probably do a whole video on this, but if you don't have a Medea U-shaped AC for the window, this is really what you want to buy. Because this AC, this is like a mini split system where the inside is almost separate from the outside and the window can actually close in between the two units. So this can throttle the compressor up or down, it can throttle the fan inside up or down, it can throttle the fan outside up or down. So it is a really efficient unit. And when I turned this on last night, it was pulling about 300 watts, give or take, and I was calculating, and the Opus was calculating as well, the runtime based on that power draw. But what I didn't realize and I didn't factor in was once the unit kind of gets up to temperature and the room cools down nicely, it throttles down the compressor, it throttles down the cooling fans, and last night I checked it at 3 in the morning. It was pulling about 75 watts. It's come up to about 88, give or take. But this is a super, super efficient AC coupled with the Oupes battery. I mean, I can't even believe that I got 11 hours of runtime out of this power station, and I still have 20%. And at this load, it's telling me I still have another 4 hours worth of power. So you can absolutely run a window AC the whole night long. You know, before you need to recharge this, maybe during the day with the portable gas generator, you can recharge this, like I said, in about 2 hours, give or take, depending on the speed at which you're charging it. So let's get back to the table. Let's talk a little bit more. But wow, I just wanted to show you, I can't even believe this. Hey guys, I just wanted to come back here for a minute. It is almost noon, and we have been running now for 13 and a half hours with this air conditioner in the Oupes. This has blown away my expectations. I didn't even think I was going to get 5 to 6 hours of runtime, let alone 13 and a half. And I've moved the air conditioner fan up to high about an hour ago. Again, this is a super efficient inverter unit, and I'm pulling a steady, 105 watts because the room has cooled off nicely hours ago, so it doesn't need to work as hard. And I'm at 1% left on the Oupes. According to the meter, it's built in, that's 33 more minutes. That'll get me to 14 hours, which absolutely exceeds my expectations, because the plan here, or the goal, is to be able to use the Oupes to sleep comfortably at night with the AC running, so I'm nice and cool, and then during the day use a portable gasoline generator, plug it in 2 hours this will be fully charged, and then I've got 13, 14 hours of power for the nighttime again. Just literally blown away my expectations here. Okay guys, so obviously you've seen the test results. It's absolutely amazing. It just blew it away with the fridge. We got over 24 hours of runtime. The window AC, when all was said and done, we got about 15 hours on the window AC. That was amazing. Again, I want to preface it though, that is a Medea U-shaped inverter AC, so it is super efficient, and I would really recommend you get one of those if you have a window AC. That's an 8,000 BTU. I also tried this on my toaster oven. I've got a Breville toaster. This pulled about the toaster pulled about 1,700 watts, ran perfect, no issues at all. Tried it on my vacuum, tried it on a bunch of things. Powered everything, but the real power hungry items obviously are a fridge and an AC. Lighting, you can get like 50, 60 hours of lighting on this thing if you plug in a bunch of floor lamps, because if you think about it, a regular floor lamp with an LED 60 watt equivalent bulb is going to pull about 9 watts. So this is a powerhouse. If you have any reservations, send me a question. I'll do my best to answer. Like and subscribe. Ask any questions. I am absolutely thrilled with this unit. I'm now going to take the cable, plug it in, recharge it, and get ready for hopefully a power outage, because I am dying to use this. Thanks for watching. I hope it was helpful. Oh, one last thing. When this is charging and when it's on, the fans, super quiet. A lot of people ask about the fan noise. Really quiet. It does not in any way, shape, or form even disturb me. It is not loud at all. Even when the toaster was on, pulling 1,700 watts, and it was like really putting this to the test, still quiet. And you could tell the temperature from the app. Thanks for watching.